So we are halfway through the first quarter of 2021. I'm bringing you 5 big predictions of what the rest of the 2021 real estate market will hold. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Shelly from the Shelly Killinger Group here at RE/MAX. So 2020 was a year for the books, to say the least. And we're halfway through the first quarter of 2021, and thankfully things are looking bright. So today we are talking about 5 predictions as to what the rest of the 2021 real estate market might look like. So our very first prediction is interest rates. We are predicting that interest rates will likely remain low, but will start to creep up throughout the year. And when we say creep up, we're not talking about massive jumps. Right now, halfway through the first quarter, they're sitting right around 2.65, 2.8 for a 30-year fixed, and we're expecting them to start going up a little bit throughout the year. So if you are thinking about buying, it's definitely an amazing time to still stay in the market. Even though inventory is tight, stick with it. Interest rates will make it worthwhile, and we anticipate that they will still be low even by the end of the year, although they might be a smidge higher than they are right now. They can't stay below 3 forever. So that is our first prediction, is that interest rates will remain low, but they will start to creep up towards the end of the year. The second prediction is that seller inventory, unfortunately, will still remain low as well. I mean, right now we are in such a tight inventory situation. I mean, there are areas in our city that have less than a 2 months supply of houses on the market. Some of them are at 1.4, 1.5 months supply. What that means is that typically in an even market, we want 6 months of housing supply. We want, if there was nothing else listed on the market, that it would take 6 months for all of the buyers to gobble up the current inventory. Right now, we're sitting at 1.5 months in certain neighborhoods. That's not very much at all, which is why you are seeing houses going so quickly above asking. The market is so tight and so crazy right now because there's so few houses to choose from. So we're anticipating that will probably be the case throughout 2021, although we're hoping towards the end of the year, as fears hopefully will start to subside about COVID and everyone gets vaccinated and people feel more comfortable about putting their homes on the market, we're really hoping that those inventory levels will start to tick up just a little bit. So second prediction is that seller inventory levels will remain low, but hopefully throughout the second half of 2021, we'll see a little bit of an uptick there as well. The third prediction is that virtual is here to stay. So we were kind of thrust into a virtual real estate world in March of last year, in 2020, when COVID hit. I mean, all of a sudden, virtual marketing was more important than it ever was. Matterport tours and video tours and, offering out-of-state buyers or even local buyers, FaceTime tours and things like that. That is here to stay. So one thing I will tell you, if you are thinking about selling your home, make sure that your home's screen appeal is really on point. Make sure that your home looks good on camera. Make sure the angles are good. Make sure that your floor plan shows well so that you don't have furniture that's like blocking entrances and things like that. Your screen appeal is really, really important. And actually, we do have an entire video on improving your home screen appeal. So take a look at that for some additional tips. So virtual is here to stay. Virtual marketing, virtual showings, and making sure that your home is on point in terms of screen appeal. The fourth prediction is that commute times are less of a factor these days. So people are willing to spread out a little bit further. So, I mean, a lot of employers these days, really, they're not requiring their employees to go back, very often to the office, if at all. I mean, there are a lot of big companies in our area that, they're talking end of summer before their employees go back. And even if they go back at all. So one thing that we've noticed is that people are more willing to spread out. All of those suburbs that were once, talked about as being inaccessible or landlocked. For example, I live in Bethel Park. People talk about how it's landlocked. That's less of an issue because people aren't so concerned about getting downtown in a certain amount of time. We've also seen quite a few customers going out to the Laurel Highlands and going out to Treasure Lake. We have someone relocating to Treasure Lake where they don't have to go into the office at all. So they want a completely different lifestyle change. So if you live in one of those far-reaching suburbs, you might want to watch out because there could be people coming your way. We're seeing an uptick, especially in Laurel Highlands, like I mentioned before. A lot of people are heading there. Our friends that are selling real estate in the Laurel Highlands have said they have never seen a market like what they're in right now, where things are just flying off the market. They're flying off the market, first of all, but then they're going for higher prices than they ever anticipated. So it's really interesting to kind of watch how people are willing to leave the city center because commute times are not as much of an issue. So that is prediction number 4, that commute times will remain less of an issue and that further reaching suburbs might become more popular. The 5th prediction is that flex space in your home is very important and it will remain important in 2021. So flex space has always been kind of an added bonus. And what we mean by flex space is if you have an attic area, an unfinished basement, an extra bedroom, something like that. Those are all considered spaces that are flexible. You could turn them into something else. That is huge in the era of COVID. I mean, we're always looking for school spaces, at-home work spaces. We're looking for gym spaces. So an unfinished basement that at one point in time wasn't very useful because it was unfinished and people might look at it as, well, I could finish it down the road. Now people are really seeing that as a value add. Boy, I could turn this into a home office. I could turn this into a home gym. We wouldn't have to finish it out completely. So if you are thinking about selling your home in the near future, I would say look for those nooks and crannies in your home that maybe it's a large landing, at the top of your stairs that you could make into a home office nook. Maybe it is a finished basement or a corner of the finished basement that you could turn into a home gym. And you can stage it to represent those flex spaces that people are looking for so highly these days. That will bring value to your home and hopefully allow you to get a little bit more on the sale of your home. So flex spaces are very important. And if you're selling, you need to take advantage of that. So those are our 5 predictions for 2021 and what is to come in the rest of the year. Obviously, no one has a crystal ball. We can't make any kind of for sure predictions, but that's kind of what we're hoping. We're hoping that it's going to be an amazing year. We've heard from all of our advisors that it's going to be really one for the record books, and we're hoping that that is the case. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you get a notification for when we post new videos, because you don't want to miss out on any of our weekly content. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.